Okay, so we're back to just straight up viewer tattoos here. It's been a minute since we've done these ones. I primarily getting black work and weird shit lately. So if you've sent like regular tattoos, there just hasn't been as much of it lately. So it hasn't been as present to get to it. But I do still plan to get to them all. There's just a whole bunch of shit in front, and I don't know. The channel doesn't seem to like these ones as much, when they're not real particular. So it just seems to be the way things are developing,
Interesting. So this one is from Justin Thomas Prince. Says, "Hello, Remy. Love your bodysuit. These are a couple I got a little bit ago. Let me know what you think. First one is a panther I got done last year. Panthers are my favorite animals, so that's really pretty much why I got that. Second one is a MK4 Supra, which is my dream car. I got that. I don't in realism. Done in realism, I think is what they mean.
Done in realism.
Yeah, and all I did was trade a BMX bike for the tattoo. That's pretty good. BMX bikes are actually pretty expensive.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know, man. You might have lost out on that one.
just depends on how nice of a bike it was. Still working on a Japanese sleeve on my right arm and a sleeve on the left. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how this becomes a sleeve at some point.
No, I know. That's what's hard about things like this.
Yeah, these little one-offs, they don't make good sleeves. They don't belong. Like that's why like right now I'm working on my legs, or theoretically will be, but I don't plan on doing sleeves on my legs, right? Really at all.
No, you're just gonna have piecework.
Yeah, and so, but I don't like the look of that for arms. I really don't.
You don't like my piecework arm?
No, well, I mean, they can come together in a way that looks okay, but like I think your arms are your showpieces.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like his idea for his Japanese traditional sleeve on the other arm, like that is immediately more interesting to me, and it's just a shame he didn't include that. But this car is reasonably good. Like it's a little like,
It's really red right now. I'm afraid about how light it's going to be healed.
I know what this looks like healed.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know what it'll look like healed. It's going to be pretty good. He had a pretty good inflammatory response.
Yeah, he did.
Like
He's really red.
This looks like it won't be like, maybe really light, but like I think that everything is going to look about like it does. Just all of it will lighten up proportionately.
Okay.
It's just going to be the gray version of what it looks like now.
Cool.
So I think it's like, it has like an impressionist sort of look though. It doesn't look 100% realistic, right? Like it's got kind of like everything's a little too foggy around the edges, right? Like the one that Ashlyn did here recently was more like direct, like realism.
More sharp.
Yeah, this kind of got like more of a painterly kind of smoothed edges, and I actually think that these kinds of tattoos make a nice look when you do a sleeve like this, and it's not, like super crispy anywhere. I think realism looks better when it doesn't have a lot of line to it, but it doesn't intuit as necessarily exactly realistic to me. It's got kind of a more of like a Chicano style feel to it. Do you know what I mean? Like the kind of I don't know. It's hard to describe, but I don't hate it. I'll never have a car tattoo. That's one thing I'll never have.
Well, you're not really into cars.
A car for me is like, it drives you from point A to point B, and that's it. And even then, it's like I didn't even bother having one till quite late, because it was like I could just borrow a car if I needed to go somewhere or something. Like it was like no big deal.
Yeah, and our car will last us until it falls apart.
Oh, I'll drive that thing till it's. Yeah, but then again, Terry's over there, and his pride and joy is his car. Yeah. So I always understand these things as like, some people put their money in cars, some people put their money in tattoos, like everybody has their thing. I remember when I went over to a coworker's house and it was all like anime stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like it was like, there was over $100,000 in anime shit. Easily. Just all over the walls, and fucking dolls and box sets and shit, and it was just like, oh, this is my tattoos.
Yep.
Everybody's got that thing. Cars just doesn't work for me, and same for sports. I'm not a big sports guy either, but If you like it, you like it. I would have gone probably just a little bit bigger with this. That would have used the whole inner bicep, because now it's like, that's a really awkward space there. Like there's a couple really awkward spaces, but particularly in that inner, like fucking, like bicep area.
Yeah.
It's very strange in there, and you know, I get most people are probably never going to have armpit tattoos or full body suits, but it's just weird to imagine what you would do there next, right? Like what's going to happen next? What do you do? Theoretically, what do you do there?
I don't know.
Just put a basketball in there?
I have no idea.
Just keep up some random shit?
Yeah, no idea. A rose? That's what people seem to be doing.
Yeah, I don't know. And then we have Mr. Panther on the forearm here.
And again, they definitely go really red.
I think this is healed, Sarah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think that's red.
I don't think this is
You,
fresh. I
You
don't
think
know.
this is not?
Maybe some of it is healed.
I don't know.
He's
Well,
got no inflammatory response anywhere but in the maw.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking mouth of this guy.
I was just assuming that was from soft shading.
I
but-
don't know. It looks like, why would you be out fucking taking this photo this way if it was brand new?
No, I guess. Yeah. I don't really like this guy
Oh,
as
he's
much.
not very good.
No. No. Big black cats are hard to make look good in realism, I think.
There's a way to do it, but this isn't it. And this is not necessarily realistic either. It's, again, got a very strange kind of, like, artsy-fartsy take on realism to
Yeah.
it. Like, they did, like, this
It's
almost like
an
negative
impression
leaf fade-out
yeah.
thing. And it's just not doing it for me.
Yeah, no, I don't love it.
There's ways to make the thing look dark without making it beat black too,
Yeah,
by the way. Like
that's
you can
the thing.
when you do a panther, you have to kind of like, you have to find a way to put light in there, and they didn't really get that here. Like you can imply, because it is hard to differentiate all these big cats, right? But like you just make the balance of light darker, right? So like where you would do a leopard or a cheetah or something, and it would be mostly light, right? With a panther, that you just invert the ratio,
Yep.
basically, to
Mostly dark
apply
with
more
smaller
dark.
spots of
you
negative
still
space.
need negative space though,
I think so too.
or else you end up with this kind of blob monster.
Yeah.
And his eyes look kind of drunk too.
Oh, he's
Like
a little derpy.
he's got a bit of a derp face, right? Like he looks like he's just about to pass out after eating a bag of Cheetos or something, right? Maybe that's what's all over his mouth.
Yeah, Cheeto does. Perfect. Or Doritos.
He
whatever.
got a little stoned, and he got into the Cheesies or Doritos or something, and he's just about to
Let's go have a nap.
call it a day.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, again, it's not horrible, and the issue is like once it's done to some degree with these things. Like you could get in there and do some white detailing, but it'll never be the same as what it would have been with negative space skin breaks, especially not a black and gray composition, right? Like you don't typically need to think about those things. A black and gray tattoo is one of the only places in life in tattooing where I'm like, oh, okay, well, one and done. With color, it's almost always open to, more work. You can build layers and stuff like this, but with black and gray, you're pretty much where you're gonna be that session,
Right.
or you should be.
I think so
You
too.
shouldn't need to keep refining it. With black and gray, it's generally like you build it off the negative and what's there in it. You don't want to be going back into it over and over again. So, I don't know. Too dark and kind of weird. But the car was the better of the two. I'd like to see your Japanese sleeve, though.
Yeah, please show us sometime. This next one is from David Nugent. It says, just wanted to send another tattoo for you guys to react to. Keep working hard.
Yeah, you have this guy.
Oh, yeah, this is a fun
Totoro.
Totoro. But it also has, like, the cool cat
And
bus.
he's got some soot sprites.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. This is neat.
Yeah, it's fun, but, like, it needs to be bigger.
I think it should have been way bigger. I agree with
so
that.
this whole thing gets stretched and widened, right? And
Yeah,
like,
you could have taken up your whole upper arm there.
yeah, the rose should have been, right below the elbow, probably, with flower or whatever the kind of flower it is, and then big Totoro, big triangle, big kitty cat. Is that Cheshire Cat or is there a cat
No, it's the cat bus.
Okay.
You don't remember the cat bus?
Yeah, I remember the cat. I don't.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't watch the Studio Ghibli movies a million times.
Ah, well.
It always seemed to me more like, I'm not saying no dudes liked it, but it's definitely more women I've found that
I
like
think so,
Studio
too.
Ghibli. Like pretty much every woman I've been with has been like, oh, Studio Ghibli. So it seems like it's predominantly more for girls, and I don't know why that is either, because there's really nothing in there that would make it that way. But like,
Princess Mononoke is pretty badass.
as a kid, it was like, oh, Dragon Ball Z for guys and Sailor Moon for girls kind
I
of thing.
watched Dragon Ball Z.
But like, there weren't too many boys watching Sailor Moon.
No.
Like, there are some things that are more like gendered than others.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
there weren't too many boys watching Inuyasha either.
But Studio Ghibli has none of that reasoning to
I
it.
mean, that just might be a North American thing too, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't met too many guys that love it. Right? And even when we watch those movies, you're like in a magical trance.
Oh
just
yeah,
to-
I love them. So happy.
And I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's done well. I like
I love it.
the stipple.
No, I love the style. This is great. It's just, yeah, I think it just needed to be bigger.
Yeah, and you could do some more soot sprites around here too,
Mm-hmm.
because now you're at the size you're at. I would just build out like little soot sprites up and around this, kind of like flying in the air.
Well,
up
and I
to
also
cap it.
think that you could put more if you like the Ghibli films, you could put more different pieces. Like you could put like No Face, like there. You could put the Haku.
Oh, yeah, you
like
can
you could
build
put
out-
like tons of different things.
But like, you have a whole fucking arm.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need everything in one tattoo.
No.
It's like so many people, they want to put every idea they've ever had in one tattoo. Mm-hmm. I see it all the time. People will send in these huge ass bull winders about what they want. And it's like, this is one tattoo. You know, you have an entire body. You do not need 35 ideas in one spot.
Right.
Like this, what we have here, I like the composition of this, and it could have been made bigger. Yes, that would have worked. But like what we have here could have been an entire arm, right? Like it could have been. Now I'm not saying for the entire arm you would want just 3 components, but you could have done big cat bus with some soot sprites, whatever the fuck, tree branch, whatever, and then had Totoro and then the rose or flower or whatever at the bottom, and that's your outer sleeve,
Right.
and its background, right? You could have done that, right? And then you could have had No Face on the forearm, right? Like a big No Face here,
Yeah.
right? There's ways to lay this out to make it into like a really nice sleeve.
I think so too.
But like now they're at this scale is so small that they have this problem of like now whatever they do on the bottom of this has to be in balance to what's on top for it to work out that way. So everything ends up being small.
Yeah.
And the reason why you like to do things big is because you can put more detail in each thing without them becoming congested.
Yeah, I think
And
so
so
too.
from across the room, I look over there and go, oh, that's Totoro. Whereas what we have here, I would not know what that was unless I was looking right at it like this glance, you know? Unless
right.
it's right in front of me, I don't know what that is. Whereas if you make it big, instantly recognizable. So that's always going to be better for me, right? And I don't know that I've ever seen, and I'm sure they've been done, but I haven't, now that I'm thinking about this, I haven't seen a really good Studio Ghibli sleeve.
I've seen, but it's been a while.
So
But
you see this more as piecework.
more often.
Like you have
yeah.
a Totoro on your leg.
Yep.
You don't have a Totoro leg sleeve,
No,
right?
I just
You've
wanted a
done
Totoro.
soot sprites on Ashlyn.
Yeah, and I've done little Totoros on all kinds
These-
of people.
Tend to be like more like piece by piece rather than like big concept, which is strange to me because they are big concepts.
I think so too.
Right,
The
these are big
world is so
worlds.
gorgeous.
There's
like all
lots
of them.
going on. There's lots of creatures and lots of scenes that are memorable and like quite iconic. And you just don't see it as much as you see even Sailor Moon or like Dragon Ball Z type like bodysuits and sleeves and shit.
Yeah.
So I would be curious if you've got a Studio Ghibli sleeve and you want to send it in, I'd like to see what that looks like.
Yeah, or like I just want to see more anime sleeves.
Well,
I
there's a
love
lot
anime.
of it coming these days. There's
Yeah.
tons of it.
I like the trend. Keep it going.